Hey, what's up? So let's talk about the Superman suit, the James Gunn Superman suit that everyone is complaining about. Now, we finally get to see a shot of the suit under natural light. You know, the last time we saw it was much indoor, and it felt more like it was much more gloomy, and you had all the action happening in the background. Everyone agreed that that was a terrible shot, that was a terrible setting, and at that point, that looked like a terrible suit. Now we got to see a better look at the suit, and yes, some people are like, this is an awful suit, it looks pathetic, it looks bad. I don't think so. I don't think so. Because what you're seeing this image from a camera, you're seeing this image from an angle that is not deliberate. It's not framed. You know, when a director frames a scene, there's a way that they will frame it and make something actually look good. That's number one. Number two, I think we've forgotten some things. I think we are so over our heads in terms of the costume that we forget that the costume in this case doesn't really matter. Now, let me explain. Think of Christopher Nolan's Batman. Perhaps one of the worst suits that I've ever seen, personally. I didn't like the suit, but the suit in relation to the movie and the director, it was functional. It was supposed to be a reflection of the kind of story that Christopher Nolan was going to make. And it fits the nature of the kind of movies that Christopher Nolan makes. If you look at his suit and you look at Zack Snyder's Batman, they're two different costumes, because when you think Zack Snyder, what do you think? You think of visually pleasing, you think of visual aesthetic, visual flair, you think of, he pays a lot of attention to the visuals. He's a very visual director. So everything that he creates in terms of costume, aesthetically pleasing, or the costume will play a very big part in what he does. Same thing with George Miller. He has never done a superhero movie, but when you look at his movies, costume plays a very big role in helping tell the story, because he's also a very visual director. Now, when you think of James Gunn, on the other hand, look at Peacemaker, and look at John Cena. Do you think about the costume when you look at John Cena in Peacemaker? Look at all the characters. Look at his best friend, who is the superhero. Is the costume the first thing that you actually think about? Think of Groot, baby Groot in Guardians of the Galaxy. You don't remember the costume, you remember the character. That is what James Gunn is good at. And so this suit, according to me, I don't know what he's going to do with it, because in his case, I'm thinking of Deadshot in Suicide Squad. You know, I'm thinking of the way he treated that particular character, in that, yes, the costume is a part of the story, it's a part of the visuals, but it's the person behind the costume that matters to James Gunn. And I believe that is the kind of director who will pay a lot of attention to that particular aspect of the character, that the suit does not become a very important part of the story. Yes, he's Superman and the suit is everything. The suit actually makes him. But if if they get the character right, Christopher Nolan's Batman, if you get the characters right, then you will never have to think about the suit. In fact, the suit becomes irrelevant. Think of Bane. If Zack Snyder was to do his version of Bane, it would look totally different from Christopher Nolan's Bane, you know? So basically, I'm going to be one of those people who say that I really don't care about these photos that we saw of the suit. I'm just going to see what James Gunn does, because James Gunn understands comic book movies and is one of the best directors in terms of comic books that we have today. And his track record actually proves it. He can pick a character, give them the workiest costume, and actually make it work. You understand? Even the Clark Kent version of, you know, I saw an image and everyone was like, he looks goofy. You've seen James Gunn pick goofy characters and make something awesome out of them, you know? And this being Clark Kent, I believe that we are going to get one of the best distinction in terms of Clark Kent and Superman that we've ever seen. Because that is one thing that people have always been complaining about. You just put on glasses and then you become Clark Kent, and no one can actually recognize that this is actually Superman. And I think with what I've seen, I believe that James Gunn will be able to give us two different personalities in terms of between Clark Kent and Superman. I believe in James Gunn. And for those people who are complaining, yes, you're like, oh, we hate this, we don't want to say this until that comes out. I would go like, yeah, framing, man, framing. If you go to any behind the scene shots, and if you're talking of Zack Snyder's behind the scene shot, I keep repeating, and I'll keep repeating this to people, you need to understand the person behind the camera. You need to understand the person behind the story. You need to understand where this story is coming from specifically. Heath Ledger's Joker, everyone was complaining about the makeup when the first shots were released. Why? Because it didn't look like anything they've seen before. But Christopher Nolan made it work. So basically that's it. That's all I wanted to say. I'm a believer in James Gunn. I believe in his direction, and I believe in where he's going to take the story. So basically that's it. Remember to always watch what you enjoy and enjoy what you watch. I'll probably see you on the next one. Thanks for watching this. Adios.